Let's get straight into it. This is the transfer story that Arsenal fans cannot stop talking about. And honestly, I don't blame them. Julian Alvarez, World Cup winner, 17 goals this season, a complete striker who does everything, and Arsenal want him badly. But here's the thing, this one is complicated, really complicated. And if you're an Arsenal fan sitting there dreaming about Alvarez in a red and white shirt next season, you need to know the full picture. So let's break it all down. Why Arsenal need him in the first place. Before we get into the transfer drama, let's talk about why this move even makes sense. Arsenal's attack this season has been, let's be honest, underwhelming. Bukayo Saka is still their best player, but has only managed 9 goals across all competitions. Odegaard has been dropped at points during the season. The whole attack just hasn't fired the way everyone expected. And the Carabao Cup final against Manchester City showed it perfectly. When Arsenal needed someone to make something happen, no one stepped up. There was no magic moment, no individual brilliance, just frustration. That is exactly the gap Alvarez fills. He is not only extremely productive in front of goal, but also offers a lot in almost every aspect of the game. An outstanding presser, a good passer, and a dangerous dribbler. Every single attribute is at a high level, and he would significantly elevate Arsenal's attack from a functional unit into a genuinely exciting force. Team talk that is not just hype. This guy is the real deal. And Gary Lineker said it even more simply. He told the Rest is Football podcast, "I saw they were linked with Julian Alvarez, who I know is not entirely happy with life at Atletico." Now that is the sort of player you know can handle the big occasion. He's a World Cup winner for crying out loud. Someone like that at Arsenal would be game over. Team talk, game over. Coming from Lineker, that says everything. The Fabrizio Romano update, and why it got fans excited. Now here's where things started getting very interesting. Alvarez was asked publicly about his future, and his answer was not a firm yes to staying at Atletico. He basically said, "You never know what happens in life." That's it. No commitment, no I'm staying. Just open doors. And then Fabrizio Romano jumped in. Romano said on his YouTube channel, Julian Alvarez has spoken publicly about his future after a long time. When asked if he will stay at Atletico Madrid next season, his answer was not completely closed. He said something like, maybe yes, maybe not. You never know what happens in life. He also made clear that he is very happy at Atletico Madrid and focused on competing. But the feeling is that things could happen in the summer transfer window. Barcelona appreciate Alvarez a lot, even if there are no negotiations at the moment. There is also interest from the Premier League and from Paris Saint-Germain, who already wanted him before he joined Atletico. Read Arsenal, things could happen. 3 words. And Arsenal fans lost their minds, rightfully so. But Romano also made something very clear earlier on. He said, "The future of Julian Alvarez remains very open, remains a story to follow, because on one side, Atletico Madrid wants to keep the player. It's too early to mention clubs, because there could be many clubs interested in Julian Alvarez eventually if he can leave Atletico Madrid. But at this stage, the player is keeping his options open." Team talk, so it's real. The interest is real. The possibility is real. But it is far from done. Arsenal's inside advantage, the Berta connection. Here is something a lot of people are sleeping on, and it might actually be Arsenal's biggest card in this whole saga. Andrea Berta, Arsenal's sporting director, is the man who signed Julian Alvarez for Atletico Madrid in the first place, before moving to the Emirates himself. So Berta knows Alvarez personally, he knows his camp, he knows what makes the player tick. Sources have confirmed that Berta is fully aware of the player's situation, and Arsenal have watched Alvarez in person within the last 2 weeks, reaffirming their long-standing interest. His name has been discussed internally, with the club exploring what it would take to bring him to North London. MSN, this is not a random interest. Arsenal are genuinely doing their homework. They've been to watch him live, they are putting a plan together, and Atletico Madrid's stance on a possible sale gives Arteta renewed confidence he can land the player his side needs. Team talk, the connection is there, the will is there. Now it's about making it happen. The swap deal, bold move or desperate move. Now this is where it gets really interesting. Arsenal are not just planning to write a cheque. They are thinking bigger than that. Reports from Team Talk broke the news that Arsenal are willing to offer Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus in exchange for Alvarez. Football transferred. Think about that for a second. 2 first-team players included in a deal. That is a massive statement of intent. Both Brazilians have been linked with exits over the past 18 months and have previously appeared on Atletico's radar. While Arsenal are not actively pushing either player out, sources indicate the club would be open to their departures in 2026, and the possibility of including one in a package for Alvarez has been discussed. Arsenal's willingness to offer established stars could give them a crucial edge in a race involving some of Europe's biggest clubs. MSN, I'm genuinely split on this. On one hand, if it gets the deal done, you do it. Jesus and Martinelli have had their moments, but neither has nailed down a starting spot consistently. If swapping them gets you a World Cup winner who scores goals regularly, that's business. On the other hand, you are losing squad depth. What happens if Alvarez picks up an injury? Who covers? These are questions Arsenal need to have answers for before they go all in. But the fact that they are willing to go this far tells you something. They are serious. The Barcelona problem and why it's not over okay. Here's the part that should worry Arsenal fans. Alvarez wants Barcelona. That's the truth right now. He has reportedly grown frustrated at Atletico this season, and he is keen to join Hansi Flick's side ahead of next season, with negotiations with Barcelona already having taken place ahead of the upcoming summer window. Sports Illustrated, he is seen as Barcelona's long-term replacement for Lewandowski, the dream signing for their project going forward. And sources have told ESPN that if Alvarez leaves Atletico this summer, he will prioritise a move to Barcelona over Liverpool or Arsenal. Team talk, that's a body blow. You can't pretend it isn't. But here is where Arsenal still have hope. Barcelona's finances are a disaster. Everyone knows it. They want Alvarez, but they might simply not be able to afford him. A move to Barcelona is far from guaranteed, and the Blaugrana's transfer business is currently on hold until after the next presidential election takes place. Sports Illustrated. So Barcelona's interest is real, but their ability to execute is questionable. And that is exactly the window Arsenal need to take advantage of. If Barcelona can't put the money together, Alvarez will need to look elsewhere. And Arsenal, with Berta's connection, financial power, and a competitive squad, could become the next best option. What Atletico Madrid are doing to stop this? Let's not forget, Atletico are not sitting back watching this happen. They want to keep Alvarez. Reports say they are preparing to offer him a new contract worth around €10 million per year, up from his current €7 million. That's a serious pay rise. On top of that, his release clause is €500 million. €500 million. Nobody is paying that. Not Arsenal, not Barcelona, nobody. So if Atletico refuse to sell at a reasonable price, this whole saga could end with Alvarez going nowhere this summer. Romano confirmed, Atletico Madrid absolutely want to keep Julian. There's interest from the Premier League, it's true for sure, but Atletico insist on keeping him. The Chelsea Chronicle, that is the wall Arsenal are up against. Atletico are firm, they want him to stay, and with a new contract offer on the table and a €500 million release clause, they have all the leverage in the world. The only way this deal happens is if Alvarez himself forces the issue. If he refuses to sign the new deal and pushes for a move, Atletico will eventually have to listen. And that is exactly the scenario Arsenal are hoping for. Does he actually fit what Arsenal need? 100% yes. And I don't even need to think about it. Arteta's system is built on hard work, pressing and intelligent movement. Alvarez is the perfect fit for that. He doesn't just stand in the box waiting for the ball. He drops deep, links play, presses from the front and still scores goals. He's the kind of forward that makes the whole team better, not just the attack. Remember his time at Manchester City? He was often the unsung hero, the one who did the dirty work while Haaland took the glory. But the goals, the assists, the work rate, it was all there. He was brilliant in a system built for others, and he still shone. At Arsenal, he would be the main man, the number one striker. And with that kind of responsibility and freedom, imagine what he could do. The real question though, can Arsenal actually close this deal? Here's my honest take. If Alvarez decides he wants to leave Atletico, Barcelona should be worried. Their finances are shaky and Arsenal have the money, the connection through Berta, and a genuinely exciting project to offer. But if Alvarez signs that new Atletico contract, it's over. He stays. Arsenal move on, and the search for a striker continues elsewhere. The next few months are huge. Every update from Romano, every hint from Alvarez's camp, every Barcelona election result, it all matters. So let me ask you, do you think Arsenal can pull this off? Or does Alvarez end up staying at Atletico or going to Barcelona? And here's the bigger question. If Alvarez doesn't come, who is plan B? Because Arsenal definitely need someone this summer. Drop your thoughts below. This saga is just getting started and it's going to run all the way to the summer. Final word, Julian Alvarez to Arsenal is not a dream. It's a real possibility with real momentum behind it. The connection is there, the desire is there, the money is there, but it won't be easy. Nothing this big ever is. What I know for sure is this: if Arsenal manage to sign this man, the whole conversation about their attack changes overnight. From good but not quite there to genuinely frightening. Arteta knows it, Berta knows it, the fans know it. Now they just need to make it happen.